The good news is it's 32 degrees out. So that means all of our mud, which is a good portion of our farm right now, all of our mud is completely frozen. Bad news? It's 32 degrees. And no one really wants to be out in that. Couldn't find my boots this morning because one of the boys used them yesterday when we went out to sort calves. So grabbed my nursing shoes, which I sometimes wear in a pinch if the ground is clean. They looked a little something like this. That's a lot of mud on those shoes. $120 shoes. Seriously, the boys refer to them as the ankle breakers. That's what happens when you have a bunch of boys and many of them are starting to wear the same size shoe as me. All right, let's go take a look in the barn. Should be full on chaos today. Some mornings, before I even go in, I can tell it's going to be crazy in there. It's going to be loud. Here we go. They hear me coming. You all want to have some scraps, huh? Come on in. Come on, girls. Those guys up there are nuts. Those are the guineas. It's extra crazy in the barn this morning because yesterday afternoon we weaned the calves from their mothers. So these calves have been nursing since they were born. Lots of them are over 9 months, coming up on a year, and the mamas are getting ready to calve again in the spring. So it was time to get them off their moms, and we are selling them to a neighbor. So neighbor will be here to pick them up this morning, and last night we pulled them away from their moms. So they're not happy. And their moms aren't real happy, so they're out there walking around the barn, calling to their babies as well. But they will be off to greener pastures today. We are sending off, let's see, 1, 2, 3 bulls and 1 heifer calf to the neighbor in exchange for some hay and some row cropping work that he does with my grandfather. Welcome to the McWilliams Heritage Farm Family YouTube channel. We are the McWilliams Heritage Farm Family. My husband Scott and I have 7 children with 1 more baby due at the end of August, making it 8. Currently we have 6 boys and 1 little girl, and are super excited to find out if this baby is going to be boy or girl. We've been on this farm for about 2.5 years now. Coming up this summer will be 3 years. Prior to that, we were living in South Florida, in the city, and longing for a more wholesome upbringing for our children, a simpler life, a better quality of life, completely opposite of what we had in the city. We slowly started transitioning in the city from public school over to Catholic school, and then eventually to homeschool. And that entire time we were studying and learning about regenerative farming and urban farming and homesteading and implementing what we could on our quarter-acre city lot. So I had a hugelkultur mound in the backyard. We were growing food back there. We had aquaponics set up, so we were raising tilapia and growing vegetables. We had gardens in the front yard. We were contemplating getting bees before we left. We were illegally raising chickens with our neighbors and enjoying all of those eggs. And we were just bursting at the seams. Excuse me. He wants his mom back. If you've ever weaned a baby from nursing, you know it's not pleasant for mom or baby. He'll be all right. So we were doing that for a while and inevitably knew we had to get to a farm and get out of the city. So we looked at different options, maybe moving inland in Florida. My husband and I were both raised in northern Wisconsin, so we have a lot of family up here, so that was definitely an appealing option, was to come back to Wisconsin. We looked at farms everywhere in between, Georgia, Tennessee, but ultimately decided to come back to the farmstead that we're on now. This farm has been in my family for 150 years and been passed down each generation. And 2.5 years ago, nobody was living here at the farm permanently. My grandfather, who was 87 at the time, was living in town and coming out to take care of the 8 beef cattle and pet the farm cats every day or every couple of days. But nobody was actually living here. And you know what happens to a house when nobody's living there, a little bit harder to maintain and things like that. So we talked to everybody in the family and thought maybe we could be the caretakers up there. Everybody could still come and visit every summer, and it would be more like what it used to be when great-grandpa and grandma lived here, what I remember growing up. So long story short, we ended up moving up here. 28 hours, I think, in the car. I was 8 months pregnant, because why shouldn't you move when you're 8 months pregnant? And brought the cat and the dog. We did leave the chickens for the neighbor. And we rolled up and got started immediately. Look at you guys. You get to be filmed this morning. What do you think? This is our boar, BJ. Daddy to all the pigs born on our farm. And his girlfriend, not officially married, is Miss Mary Jane. She is the best mama. And you're a beautiful couple. A beautiful couple. Are you hungry? All right, let's see what we can do. Normally, when I don't have cows in here, I'm able to... Please don't eat my pants. I know you're hungry, but don't eat my pants. I'm normally able to walk around and get in their pen and pull out their feed dishes, bring them over to the fence. But this morning, we're gonna have to throw the feed in there. Hope we make it. Because we've got too much action going on in here. A bunch of angry teenage boys that I don't really want to walk through. All right, let's get you guys fed. We'll get those crazy cows out of here and you can have your quiet barn back, okay? You're hungry. There we go. All right, one of you here. The other one. Here we go. Hey, I did pretty good. Got most of it in there. That first summer was super busy. We were very motivated, even though we had a newborn and we're trying to fit our family into a farmhouse full of 6 generations of stuff. I think there were 3 sofas in the living room when we moved in. We were only able to live essentially in the kitchen and in the dining room it was at the time. All of us slept in one room on the first level because every other room in the house was full of stuff. So we spent a lot of time going through and organizing, and that summer my grandpa wanted us to have a rummage sale, so that was a wonderful way to offload lots of what we had. But there were also lots of antiques and family heirlooms and things like that that needed to be gone over and sort of cataloged and moved up to the attic for safe storage. But that first summer, again, we got a lot done. Right away we got a family milk cow so that we could have that. I think that's probably part of the romantic homesteader's dream, is to immediately get that family milk cow. We put in a 1-acre garden. We got 42 egg-laying birds. We raised 75 meat birds. We got guineas. Still questioning if that was a good idea. Just kidding. I have a love-hate relationship with them. I know, mamas. We have over 60 acres and we've never found a wood tick, and Wisconsin is one of the highest areas in the country for Lyme's disease. In fact, I had it as a child from a deer tick. So having guineas is our insurance against all of those ticks. And they're pretty much self-sufficient. We don't have to do a whole lot with them, except tolerate them. We got Idaho pasture pigs, which are the pigs behind us. We started with a few more than what we have now. Now we just keep one breeding pair. We started rotating cattle. The cattle here had mainly been free grazed wherever they wanted to go. Some management, but not a whole lot. So we started learning about, seriously. She's mad. Doesn't seem cruel to anyone. You know, you do have to wean the calves so that the mother can have enough energy to give to the new baby, and she seriously will have a new calf in less than 2 months. We waited too long to wean. You got a bonus month. Be thankful. My goodness, they are loud. So we started learning how to rotate cattle, which has been a lot of fun, and again, another learning curve and a little bit more infrastructure that we had to set up. We actually worked and got a grant for converting some of our row cropping. Are we done? We got a grant to convert some of our row cropping area over into more pasture. We learned how to can and how to freeze a lot of the produce we got from the garden, and learned about dehydrating. I seriously cannot continue with you guys. We're trying to make a YouTube channel here. Does anybody care? Do you want a YouTube channel? No one's gonna watch me if you're that loud. It's rude. You're being rude. I brought you scraps. You've got corn. You've got new hay in your nest box. What more could you need? Oh, you're gonna set them all off. We'll get those crazy cows out of here and you can have your quiet barn back, okay? One of the advantages of farming in Wisconsin is that the entire farm goes to sleep and sort of hibernates for the entire winter. You can't be out in the garden, you're not out there moving cows every day, you're not moving pigs every day. Most of your chores are concentrated to the barn area. So it's a much easier time, which is good because you don't really want to be outside when it gets super cold, and it can get down to -20 or close to -30 on horrible days around here. But springtime is coming, and then it is fast and furious. We have calves and we have chicks, and the pigs are farrowing, and the garden needs to be planted and then weeded and then harvested, and it gets nuts real fast. So hopefully you've rested up well for the winter. So we rested for the winter after summer number 1, and we needed it. Summer number 2, we did less farming and more on the farmhouse. So we did get some new egg birds. We inherited a flock of Rhode Island Reds, which were good because I had originally been raising full-size Cochins, which are beautiful to look at, and they're pretty good egg layers, but IQ-wise, not good. We lost a bunch of them to the neighbor's dog. We had trouble with them wanting to roost at night. They pretty much preferred to sleep in a pile on the floor. So when we got my brother's flock of Rhode Island Reds, that really helped clarify some things. They weren't as pretty to look at, but they were super smart, and they will die to lay eggs for you. That's all they want to do. So I probably will stick with less cutesy birds, less fancy birds, and more hardy birds, better egg layers, and smarter birds. Let's see, summer number 2, we also had a guinea explosion. We started with 14 guineas, and by the end of summer, we were up to almost 50 guineas. I'm not entirely sure how to manage guineas other than put them on Craigslist and give them away. But they brought themselves down to, I think, 28 now through the winter. So we'll see how they do this summer. We farrowed pigs for the first time in summer number 2. That was a real experience. We had 2 mamas that both gave birth to litters and had to learn how to castrate and raise piglets, which was a lot of fun. We started the permaculture orchard. We have a lot more to do on that this summer, but we've got all the trees in the ground. So now we'll go back through and fill in with the perennials and fill in with some of the smaller bushes and things like that. We remodeled the farmhouse. This was the project that was the reason we didn't do a whole lot of other farming. So we had to tear off the kitchen and the bathroom, which was about 19 feet by 19 feet, and then we put up a 1,000 square foot addition with a full basement underneath, and remodeled some parts of the lower level of the farmhouse. So that ate up all of our time. In fact, we're still not completely done. We have trim to put up and 2 more concrete countertops to pour, some tile work, things like that. But at least the house is functional now, and there's no mushrooms growing in the bathroom. We don't have the soft spot in the kitchen floor that you have to walk around, and it's much easier to clean. I can actually clean it, which is lovely. And it can fit our family, which is really great. We had to get real creative in the bathroom, trying to get all these kids ready for church in the morning and out the door when we had one half-working shower was a real pain. We are going to get our YouTube channel off the ground and started so we can document all of this, and most importantly, to give back to the YouTube community that basically taught me everything I know about farming. Following Joel Salatin and Justin Rhodes and Homesteady, and some of those channels have really helped give me the confidence that we can do this, and even though we are just a family from the city of Southern Florida, we actually can get in here and make this happen, and we are doing that. I just really want to, this year, look at this behavior. This is why you rowdy boys are going. You're too much. Holding these guys in this smaller area for 24 hours is not ideal. I think it's like keeping a bunch of teenage boys locked up in your living room for 24 hours. They're going to destroy the place before it's over. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You're naughty. You better behave for loading today. Welcome to our YouTube channel. We are the McWilliams Heritage Farm family, and we hope to be coming to you for the next 30 days with videos under the motto or series or title, whatever you want to call it, of manifesting our homestead vision. So we have been homesteading for the last 2 years, but I want to get better. I want to improve every single day. I want to be more of a lean farm, an organized farm. I want our infrastructure to be tightened up and maintained and fixed. I want to build community. I want to seek out more experts. I want to be doing more on our own and relying on others a little bit less. I want to reduce our grocery bill, feed our family more from the farm. A million things come to mind, and there's always been some other major priority before all of that. So the goal this summer is to make as much of that happen, materialize as much of it, keep working toward those goals consistently. and we're gonna try to give a little theme every day for what's going on. So maybe today we're talking about starting the YouTube channel, which has been part of manifesting my homestead vision. Maybe tomorrow it's building community, or building a support network, or developing a more lean farm, or how to get the kids more involved, on and on and on. Everything that is in my head is going to happen, and I'm not going to stop until it does. So welcome. We are happy to have you. We hope that we can show you and give you confidence that you can take a big family or a small family from the city and throw you out into the country, and you too can make it happen. Have a blessed day.